Hey, happy 2016. That's a nice number because that means Stupid in Chief is almost finished. It feels like, to people on my side of the political spectrum, it feels like 2 decades. I'm sure it felt the same when George W. was in office for you guys. But this guy makes him look like a genius, let's be honest. Really, Nick? You can't be serious. Shut up. Dead serious. Hey, how to get off of the 2016 on a positive foot. First of all, thanks again, contribution-wise. Jonathan Keller, again, is thrown into the pot. Thank you, Jonathan. Michael Kickham, very nice contribution. I'm going to call you Mickey, Michael Kickham. That's a good name. Thanks a lot, man. That was very generous of you. And Paulie Frederick, once again, this guy, he's keeping the show alive on its by himself. I'd love to know what this guy does. Maybe a drug cartel. But thank you guys so much. And let's keep it going, huh? Let's keep it going. Come see me this weekend, too, at Levity Live in West Nyack, New York. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're in the area, the tri-state area, it'll be worth the ride in. I'm pent up. I haven't been on stage in a while. It's going to, I feel a good one coming on. Like a real dump if you're constipated for a week. Should be beautiful. Thank you guys so much. Let's get to it, huh? What do we do first? Yeah, let's start off with sad news. Also,
has someone been
little rusty over the break. Trapper John Wayne Rogers passed away, 82, I believe. I don't know Farrell's first name. It's probably wrong. Big lib. But anyways, he played Trapper John, and him and Alan Alda were the funniest. I think he was there for the first 3 seasons. And then they said because it started to focus a lot of the episodes on Alan Alda's character that Wayne Rogers, his nose got a little bent out of joint. Who knows if that's true or not, but he left the show after 3 seasons, which was a huge mistake because that show went on to be as big as anything ever to hit television. And anyways, rest in peace, both of yous. Real quick, let's get through over the weekend. You guys are college, well, you're football fans like I am, and the bowl games really stunk, I got to be honest with you. There was only a couple of close ones, but the major ones, the ones that the matchups that look great on paper, really, like the Rose Bowl, Stanford and Iowa. Stanford just kicked the shit out of Iowa. And this kid, Christian McCaffrey, white running back, he was almost nominated for the Heisman. I don't think he did, but this year. But he's a sophomore. This kid is why is that important? Let's be honest. It's not important, but he's white. And he's a kid is unbelievable. I mean, he literally reminds me of Gale Sayers. He can cut without slowing down. He set a Rose Bowl record with all-purpose yards. I don't know, 380, 370 something. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I cannot wait to see what this kid does if he stays healthy. But it is funny to see a white guy leaving black guys in the dust on a football field. This kid is incredible. I hadn't seen enough of him, but I you heard about him throughout the anyways. Stanford blew them out. But in the big games like Cotton Bowl, Alabama, Michigan State, Alabama once again, SEC just takes apart a Big Ten team. 38-0. Dismantled Michigan State, who was a great football team. And Orange Bowl, Oklahoma got their clocks cleaned by Clemson, who's number 1 in the nation. Again, that was supposed to be a great matchup. Wasn't much of a matchup. But that leaves Alabama and Clemson. Clemson number 1, Alabama number 2, meeting for the national title, which is the way it should be. That should be a friggin' doozy. Ohio State kicked the shit out of Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. The best game, TCU Oregon, unbelievable. TCU's down 31-0 at halftime. in the Alamo Bowl, comes back and wins in triple overtime, 47-41. And they were playing without their starting quarterback, Trevon Boykin, because he punched a bike cop in the face in San Antonio a couple days before the game, which is a good career move. Nice going, stupid. Anyways, the backup quarterback, Bram Kohlhausen, was unbelievable. He's going to go down in folklore for the game he played. Tough as nails, stand in the pocket passer, can run. And that was an incredible. That was the best game of the 1,000 bowl games. Anyways, in West Virginia in the Cactus Bowl, 43-42 over Arizona State. That was a unbelievably fun one to watch. And you guys like, okay, who gives a fuck? I do. I give a fuck. That's who. Mate, that's who. And quickly, NFL Patriots took a big runny dump. I don't give a shit. They're not healthy. But again, even a fourth-string Patriots team should beat a Miami team who outright stinks. But they laid a big egg, and they almost lost Brady. That fucking Ndamukong Suh, that dirty MFer, who I love, by the way. If I started a team, I'd start with him. But he fucking rolled up on the back of Brady's leg. Didn't roll up. He threw himself. I thought he blew both Brady's knees up. And just a fucking dirty play, no doubt about it. And the refs don't even mention it. The fucking announcers don't. Oh, he kind of fell on him. No, he went right after him, like he doesn't have a reputation. And then another guy did a couple minutes later, went after Brady's knee. The Dolphins had a real chip on their shoulder. But anyways, Patriots took a big runny dump. And what happens? They could have been number one seed throughout the playoffs. No, they lose to shitty Dolphins. And Peyton Manning comes off the bench and pulls it out for Denver against the Chargers. And so now Denver's the number one seed, and it looks like we'll have to go to Denver if they, if we can get through, if we get healthy, which the Pats, I think, are going to get much more healthy once they get Edelman back. But they're missing the offensive line stinks because it's all fill-ins, and that's not going to, I don't think that's going to change. So anyways, that's enough sports. Fuck it. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to fucking cause tension. Not cause tension, but report shit that causes tension, which is usually race-related in this country. And but let's start before, well, this is kind of race-related. How about this armed group? They're calling them militia, but I don't think they're really militia. But anti-government protesters have taken over a building in a federal wildlife refuge in Oregon. Accusing officials of unfairly punishing ranchers who refuse to sell their land. And one of them is Eamon Bundy. He's the 40-year-old son of Cliven Bundy. Remember Cliven Bundy? Last year he had a showdown in Texas about cattle and shit like that. Remember they showed up armed and the Fed showed up. And my buddy who I had on the show a few weeks prior, the cop from Miami, Sergeant Zook, said that was the closest. He said if anybody took a shot, that would have tipped off like fucking next civil war in this country. And so anyways, so it's Cliven's son, Eamon. Anyways, it's a federal, it's federal lands, but what tipped it off? By the way, it's called Malheur National Wildlife Refuge, right outside of Burns. These protesters are demonstrating in support of the Dwight and Stephen Hammond, their father and son ranchers who were convicted of arson. The feds are saying Hammond set a fire that burned about 130 acres in 2001 to cover up poaching. They were sentenced to 5 years in prison. The Hammond said they set the fire to reduce the growth of invasive plants and to protect their property from wildfires. I don't know about that either. Who knows what really fucking happened? But according to, this Bundy and the rest of these protesters, the federal government is kicking ranchers off their land and, and just taking over and literally putting them out of taking away their living. They say it's happened to over 90 or 100 ranchers in the area, and this has been going on for years. So they're saying enough is enough. But the Hammonds have been clear they don't want help from the Bundy group. That's according to the Hammond's lawyer. I don't know if that's true or not. But here is Mr. Bundy speaking to reporters, and they're asking him why he's doing this.
Taken over the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge. And this will become a base place for patriots from all over the country to come and to be housed here and live here. And we're planning on staying here for several years. And while we're...
By the way, it's a vacated building that they took over, and they don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
Here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be freeing these lands up and getting the ranchers back to ranching, getting the miners back to mining, getting the loggers back to logging, and where they can do it under the protection of the people and not be afraid of this tyranny that's been upon them. And what will happen is Harney County will begin to thrive again. And one time they were the wealthiest county in the state. Now they're the poorest county. Yeah. And we will reverse that in just a few years by freeing up their land and resources.
Good for them.
And we're doing this for the people.
Fuck the government.
We're doing this so the people can have their lands and their resources back where they belong. And it's really that simple. But we're the point of the spear that's going to bring confidence and strength to the rest of the people. And we're calling people to come out here and stand. And it's really that simple. We have a place for you now. We have a place for you to come. We have a place for you to stay warm. We have food planned and prepared. We need you to bring your arms, and we need you to come to
bring your guns.
National Wildlife Refuge.
I find it refreshing. Hey, who knows the whole truth? But you can't argue that the government's not becoming a little tyrannical and, in your face at every turn, whether it's telling you what kind of fucking toilets to buy or light bulbs or whatever. Yay for the fucking, yay for somebody taking a stand. Yeah, but are you really going to take on the U.S. government? I mean, with all their weapons and shit? Yeah, what do you think the fucking argument was back in England? It's the same mentality. Would you really take on England? It's the whole. It's what this country was founded on. Yay for these people. Take a stand. Being taxed up the ass, forcing people off their land. You can look that up. They're not making that shit up. You know? I mean, come on. He's the, he reminds me of this guy.
And I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men. And free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? Fight against that? No! We will run, and we will live.
We will run and we will live.
Fight and you may die. Run, and you'll live.
You'll live.
At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom?
That speech still gives me a hard on. Yes, that was Mel Gibson of Braveheart, who has a lot in common with Mr. Bundy. Not a big fan of, certain people and things. Love it. Anyways, the old man was Clive Bundy, I told you. He's the one, he took on the federal authorities over a Bureau of Land Management dispute. Something to do with grain, paying for grain fees. And, in protest, he wasn't paying his fees, so they tried to kick him off the land. And next thing you know, a bunch of his pals showed up with guns and had a face-off with the feds. I think it was 2014. Anyways, of course, the feds have a different view. Acting U.S. Attorney Billy J. Williams. 5 years ago, a federal jury charged White and Steve Hammond with committing arson on public lands and endangering fire. What they were doing... witnesses saw them shoot like 6 or 7 deer. They were like poaching, supposedly, and the feds are saying to hide that they lit the fields on fire, and charged them with public arson, endangering firefighters. And then Steve Hammond was found guilty of committing a second arson in 2006. They had illegally slaughtered a herd of deer on public land. And at least 7 deer were shot, I guess witnesses say. And a teenage relative of the Hammonds testified that Steve Hammond gave him a box of matches, told him to start the blaze. The fire destroyed evidence of the deer slaughter and took about 130 acres of public land out of public use for 2 years. That's what they were being charged with. That's what the government says. And they're saying they're full of shit. Anyways, and then Bundy gets involved. So, yeah, good for them. Fuck the government. Get out of our faces. Get rid of the IRS. Get stupid out of office. And let's clean it up. Are you really? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Anyways. And then, what the hell else is going on? Oh, Black Lives Matter. Once again, they were... Lives matter! Black Lives Matter! Can't do a show without them. Sorry. Computer's acting a little weird today.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives...
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Please. They were in Chicago fucking up a brunch. People just... Did you see the clip on... but, you know, because of another shooting by a cop, blah, blah, blah. I think it was the kid with the pellet gun. I can't keep them straight. But it's not because there's so many of them. Let's keep that myth alive again. It's, the statistics don't show that. But, what was funny about the clip was they're in it's a restaurant and people just don't have bread. And there was one guy right in the middle, white guy, just eating away. Like it wasn't even fazing him. I'm sitting there going, well, he's from Chicago. So either he's really pissed and sick of this and that's why he's just ignoring him. Or he probably agrees with the Black Lives Matter people that were fucking up his breakfast. And he just, it didn't bother him at all that they were, but he was just shoveling his face. It really was fucking cracking me up. You can find it online somewhere. But it's just, will they ever go away? For Christ's sake. But again, let me rehash statistics again. White cops shooting unarmed black men account for less than 4% of fatal police shootings. Less than 4%. In 3/4 of the incidents, cops were either under attack themselves or defending civilians. The majority of those killed were brandishing weapons, suicidal or mentally troubled, or bolted when they were told to stand down or surrender. And you're going, well, you just said, Nick, you weren't for it. You're against government, but no, this is what government's the only thing the government should do is protect us, including the cops. That's all we need them for. Shit that we can't do. Nearly a third of police shootings resulted from car chases that began with a minor traffic stop. By the way, this is based on 965 people that were killed by police. I'll repeat that. 965 people as of December 4th were killed by police. Less than 4% were white cops shooting unarmed black men. Okay? So... You can scream and yell all you want, but the truth's going to win out. You're just going to cause a lot of fucking havoc, though. Since the population, I like this article, it puts it in perspective, is of the U.S. is about 318 million people. 1,000 deaths at the hands of police works out to 1 in 318,000. You got a better chance of being killed in a violent storm, which is 1 in 68,000, or slipping in a tub, which is 1 in 11,500. Nobody's out there shouting about getting rid of tubs. Well, a few people, a few of my fat, dirty friends. But even those figures are deceptive. Of the 965 killed, only 90 were unarmed. Of the almost 1,000 people, and the majority of those were white people. So the facts and figures don't fucking lie. So ruin all the brunches you want, fuck up all the college campuses you want, and you're going to have a certain part of the population, well, a big part of the population buying into it because of the fucking media, which is just hell-bent on saying that this country is fucking racist. And they cherry-pick the stories. Imagine if they cherry-picked the story. Imagine if there was equal coverage of every time cops helped minorities in the projects and how many cops got shot. And every time if a cop got shot or put his life on the line, that was the story for the next 2 weeks. Can you imagine? That would be called perspective, and we wouldn't have all this racial tension. But because of the cocksucker left-wing media cherry-picking these fucking stories and just blowing it out of proportion and just reporting one side of the story Yeah. The lie becomes real to dummies who don't want to read into it. So it's just total bullshit. But they still, the killer cop narrative isn't going to go away. And then you get the Washington Post, which is, wacky fucking left paper. They throw fuel on the fire, but with headlines like this. Although black men make up only 6% of the population, they account for 40% of the unarmed men shot to death by police this year. Of course, that ignores the fact that black violent crime rates are far higher than white ones. Here's a statistic that sort of puts it in perspective. Since 1980 to 2008, that's 28 years, pretty good sample size, wouldn't you say? According to the Department of Justice, yeah, but those are white men statistics. Yeah, okay. Blacks committed 52.5% of the murders in America from 1980 to 2008. More than half of the murders, while they only represent 12.6% of the population. See, if the media gave equal time to those statistics, shitheads at home and people in L.A. and the fucking dummies, even then they would probably ignore it because it doesn't fit their narrative, so maybe it doesn't matter. But the cops, there are scumbag cops. Nobody's saying that there's not. And, remember the guy, Walter Scott in South Carolina? Remember the guy he was fleeing, and the black guy was fleeing, and the white cop shot him after a routine traffic stop? That guy's going to be, he's going to rot in a jail. The point is the system works. Not all the time. But it's simple. It's numbers. Okay? Most of the crime's going on in black neighborhoods, so that's where cops of all colors are going to be. So there are going to be incidents. And there are going to be cops who make mistakes. And there are scumbag cops. Okay? But less than 4%. It's not an epidemic, so stop. So, and that scumbag, Van Dyke, was that his name? The guy that shot the 16-year-old, remember? There was footage of that, the one in Chicago. He's fucking finished. I'll bet you $1 zillion. He's gonna rot in jail like he should for the rest of his life. You don't know all the fact? Yeah, we do. Saw it on the video. And but the Washington Post, they just feed the fire. They don't mention West Garfield Park in Chicago. That's where there's more gangs than anywhere in the country. They have a murder rate of 116.7 per 100,000. That's more than murder capitals like Honduras, which is at 90.4. But again, if they put, you're not going to hear those statistics. Anyway, it's just so, I can't help it. I watch the fucking news. I can't get away from it. Hey, hoo, hiya, ho. I was going through the internet, and there's a little controversy. God forbid, there's a billboard somewhere in Utah, West Valley City, Utah. There's a billboard along the highway, State Route 201 in West Valley City, and it's an ad for a dating website, and the billboard says where white people meet. That's their big ad. And that's controversial, even though there's all kinds of websites that are, exclusively for all different ethnicities. When it's white people, somehow, let me just help you people out. This is a predominantly white country still, so when the numbers don't match up, and I'm going to get into a few stories where Obama and his bean counting, it's like me moving to Nigeria and going, why is everybody black on the magazine if they have magazines? Why is everybody black on television in Nigeria? I mean, but anyways, yeah, it's where white people meet. Why should anybody even blink at that twice unless you're fucking brain dead and bought into this PC cuckapoo? And of course, the local news has to interview, again, Kim Gilbert. I just don't think it's the way to teach our kids to love all when you see billboards like that. Michelle Dessau says, She thinks the billboard represents exclusionary views. I think women are much more susceptible to this PC shit. That's sexist, Nick. Yeah, I know. Good. Call the fucking cops. I just feel we should be past the whole mindset of staying within our own race and segregation pretty much. That's what Michelle said. And then Kayla Lemon said she's opposed to the idea of dating sites aimed at a single race. Okay, well, I don't hear... Were you speaking up about the ones that catered to black people solely? Or Asians? Or West Africans or Indians? No, you didn't fucking... Oh, that's because they didn't do a story on them. Oh, okay. I have a lot of friends who are biracial couples, and they're in love and they're happy, she said. This is Kayla. I don't think we should have a dating site with only one race. I think it excludes someone who could be your soulmate and is a different color than you. Listen to the brainwashing, the just reflexive political correctness, the dummying down. If these broads looked a little further into it, they'd find out that this website doesn't exclude anybody by color. And I love it because the website put out a statement answering people like this. And they say, this is from the website, I'm sure some of you are wondering about the concept and the need for a dating website titled WhereWhitePeopleMeet.com. Our answer to that would be, why not? There's various dating websites that promote and cater to just about every origin, race, religion, and lifestyle. So, again, why not? WhereWhitePeopleMeet.com. The question naturally arises, can anyone join? The answer to that is yes, as long as you're 18 years of age and you agree to abide by the rules and the regulations set forth for all members to follow. So girls, don't get your dirty panties in a bunch. If you looked into it a little further, instead of just having that dumb knee-jerk reaction, you'd see. Here at whitepeoplemeet.com, we believe in the concept that all people have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, why are you trying to meet somebody? Stay single, get out there and bang all that shit. That's how you pursue happiness. I'm speaking from experience. I'm semi-happy, but let's be honest. When I was single, anyways. We also believe that finding your perfect partner, your soulmate, is one of the best ways as humans to obtain happiness. Furthermore, we believe that all men are created equal. Boy, they really laid it on heavy. You see this is what they have to put out. Just because they fucking have a website where white people can be. By the way, furthermore, we believe that all men are created equal. And then parentheses, it says the word men stands for a species, not a gender. You can imagine all the explaining you have to do? I fucking hate the times we're living in. I really fucking do. And my act right now isn't even representative of how angry I am. And I can't wait. I'm going to put this out of bed, I'd say, by the middle of this year. And no more Mr. Nice Guy. Maybe I'll start it like in March. I'm fucking done. I'm through. I'm tired of getting on planes. Anyways, we'll get to that in a few seconds. I'll give them a reason to kick me out of this fucking business if this show isn't enough. We sincerely hope, this is the website again, that you decide to join today. There's hundreds of dating websites to choose from, so please join ours if it fits your preferences and helps bring your ideal soulmate that much closer. And let's be honest, if you're a white person, your soulmate probably will be white. Or if you're a black person, your soulmate probably will be black. How can you say that, Nick? It's about the soul. The soul has no color. Bullshit. My heart is as black as his desk I'm sitting on as I do the show in a tight pair of red shorts. What? So, by the way, where white people meet to date, yeah, any color can join the website and meet their soulmate. What movie was it when the guy gave him a where the white pussy at? I couldn't find that clip. We used to play it on Nick and Artie, didn't we? On one of those shows. Anyways, see, but so all your fear is put to rest. Let's lighten it up a little. Anybody see, again, this happened a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, I don't know. But did you see President Obama, who I guess feels he hasn't been on TV enough, do the, comedians getting coffee? Which I thought was good because he really is a comedian. He sure in hell ain't a president, but with Jerry Seinfeld, the one lived at, I know Jerry a little bit, through Colin and, for the Comedy Cellar, and I've been to his house, and I like him. He's prickly. He's very liberal, but he's not. He doesn't throw common sense out the window. Anyways, he had the president on his, comedians getting coffee. Did you see it? I'll play a couple clips. It really shows Obama, though, how much he kind of thinks of himself. But I'll say this. Definitely the funniest of... He's good with these things. With those correspondence dinners and shit. He knows how to deliver a joke, and he's got a smooth delivery. And but, I really do think he's in love with himself a little bit. But again, almost likable. That's right. I just said it. It's the politics that fucking... The shit that he's doing, and I'll get to it in a few minutes, to reverse everything that made this country great. And by that, I mean lowering standards and just being focused on diversity instead of merit. And that's how this country get great. I don't give a fuck what you say. But Jerry Seinfeld went to the White House, picked him up in like a, 65 Corvette or something. And they had some funny little exchanges. And it's funny, Jerry seemed actually like a little nervous at the beginning. And Obama's like, what, this is more pressure than doing like Letterman or Leno? And Jerry's like, absolutely. They just started, but there was some funny little exchanges. Jerry asked him about what he does to get ready for the day in the morning, and they were talking about shaving.
Get out of bed.
I brush my teeth, shave, put on some workout clothes. I go up, workout.
Shave, then workout.
Yeah, I believe in shaving before the workout.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's how I do it, and I don't really need a reason.
I see.
Okay, tell me that's not an executive order mindset. That's how he governs. I don't really need a reason. I'm the fucking king and dictator, and I'll do it the way I want. That's the most honest I ever heard the guy. He goes, let's be honest, I don't need a reason. It doesn't show too much smarts. Everybody knows you don't shave before you work. You shave right after you get out of the shower. Unless he doesn't shower after he's done working out, which I think he does. As Joe Biden said, he's very clean and articulate. That one even got me. That was a good one, Nick. You're goddamn right it was. But I love it. He goes, I really don't need a reason to. Yeah, that's exactly how he governs. And then they were talking about laying out his clothes and picking out suits. And again, he refers to himself as, listen in.
Well, with the suit, I only have blue and gray suits.
Right. No black?
I have one black suit.
Black's too rough for a president.
Yeah.
You got to soften it a little.
Well, but I'm a cool president.
Right,
so...
that's true.
I'm a cool again, yes, self-deprecating, but I know damn well part of him means, and he is, out of all, come on. He is. I mean, he's just a horrible president, but he's definitely the coolest. Definitely the worst, but definitely the coolest. And, dare I say it, very likable. And it's that charm that fooled all the stupid white libs. I mean, we all know why black people voted for him, and they come right out and say it, because he was black. Which is fine. Fine. But you dummies fell for his charm and horseshit. Unbelievable. Oh, goodness. But Seinfeld, what a life he's living, huh? My God. It was funny at the beginning. They show Obama like in the Oval Office and Jerry tapping on the window behind him. And as far as, this controversy, even David Spade said it, I guess, in a tweet that, he thinks it's below the president. I guess he was on that show with that outdoor guy on A&E, Grillis, whatever the Bear Grillis, whatever the fuck his name is. And I don't buy any of that. It's, beneath the presidency and blah, blah, blah. No, it ain't, because he works for us. He's below us. I know that concept has gotten lost, but he's one of us. So I don't believe that going on the Tonight Show and these shows, is beneath the office and horseshit. I don't believe that at all. He's one of us. He works for us, so he really is below us. I know that's a concept that's very hard to grasp, especially the way he governs. I don't like that. Executive order, bang! Wiping his ass with the Constitution. The media applauding while he does it. But I don't buy any of that shit. I'm sort of with him on that. You know? If he wanted to go on, I don't know, the Kardashians. You know? That would be fucking hilarious. I'd like to see Caitlyn and him slow dancing. But I don't buy that shit. Because, like I said, he's our servant. Even though, you know, if the people would wake the fuck up and realize that, what an awesome country. Other than Clive Bundy and his kid. And a few of those protesters out there. And then Jerry let the president ask him a few questions. And Obama asked him about hecklers. I thought this was a cute exchange.
You still get hecklers? What's your theory of handling hecklers?
I say, you know what? You seem upset. I'm so sorry. I know that's not why you came in here. Let's talk. What kind of...
I thought that was funny.
Excuse me.
Imagine that's how I handle hecklers. I'm sorry. Seems like you have a problem. I know that's not why you came in here. And that's probably exactly how Jerry does it. You know? Bill Hicks used to have a bit about heckling Jerry. I guess Bill Hicks wasn't a huge Seinfeld fan. But he used to do a bit about Jerry's up there going, why do women use so many cotton balls to take off their makeup? Oh, no, why do women use so many cotton balls? And Hicks goes, I had a fantasy. I'm in the first row. I raised my hand. To take off their makeup. Zing, zang, zing, tong, ting. Also, Obama mentioned, Jerry asked him, I don't have a clip for this, but asked him about what awards that, you know, you haven't won, political awards, would you? And he mentions, you know, that he might want to be on Mount Rushmore. I thought that was pretty ballsy. I know he's the first black president, but come on, man. You've done a horrendous job. Even by some liberal standards, they're not happy with you. So, Mount Rushmore, what are you, shitting me? Should be the bottom of Mount St. Helens. What? I don't know. I just fucking said something. Uncle Junior, kick it in, brother.
Guy comes home with a bouquet of flowers for his wife. I guess I'll have to spread my legs now, she says. Why, he asks. Don't you have a vase?
Excuse me.
I'll laugh at that till I'm fucking 79. Why does that fucking crack me up? Because I'm 3 years old mentally. Well, that's fine. Anyways, hey, I'm doing Anthony Comey. I don't know when you're going to listen to this. This is coming out tonight. I will have done Anthony Comey, but you can watch it the rest of the week. I'm doing his podcast tonight. And I'm doing Race Wars with Kurt Metzger and my buddy Sherrod Small. I don't know when that... Again, it's a podcast, so find it on the internet. Listen to it. How can't that be interesting? Me doing a show called Race Wars, which, by the way, is a radio show on Sirius, too, I guess. Why don't they fucking listen to this and throw me a bone? Jerks of all cocks. Anyways, I don't know who's running that station. The new guy took over. I told you that Norton introduced me to him. The guy couldn't have been less interested. He must fucking despise me. He went, yeah, how's it going? He didn't even finish how's it going when he turned his fucking right shoulder to me. And then I noticed my checks from Sirius. You know, I get checks, residual checks, once a month for them playing my stuff. And mine was down, I don't know, about 4,000%. And I called the guy and I go, what's going on? Please tell me it was just holiday programming or are you guys doing a new format? And he's like, yeah, we're playing more unknown comics. Well, yeah, there's a recipe to get your ratings. Huh? What the fuck? Here's Billy Weaver, a weak middle from fucking Wisconsin, doing a clapper bit. Anyways... So, yeah, that was a cool insight. Jerry could never have me on that. Well, first of all, I'm not famous enough, I guess. But I remember one time I'm up on stage having one of my nights at the Cellar, a little drunk, a little angry, and I'm talking about Hillary, and I call her a cunt like 3 times, and I come off the stage, and who's standing in the hallway? Jerry. And Jerry just looks at me and he goes, brilliant, brilliant, sarcastically. He probably wanted to pop me in the face. And I went, yeah, I've been down here a little too long. He goes, you don't say. I don't give a fuck. Gilligan. Up. Little butter. Am I blowing your ears out? Tough shit. Wake up. It's 2016. Where the white pussy at? Well, apparently it's at wherewhitepeoplemeet.com. Where retarded Puerto Rican midgets meet.org. What the fuck else? Let's get back to race, huh? It's the only thing that matters apparently in this goddamn country. Or should I save these for the next show? By the way, Tom Coughlin, I haven't put on the news today. It's 1 o'clock. He's probably stepped down by now, which I don't think is fair. Imagine being a military guy like Coughlin. He's just a guy won 2 Super Bowls. Nobody expected that, by the way. He's as good a coach as Giants ever had. Military guy. Remember, he even made the transition to being a player's coach because the young guys didn't like that he was demanding and he yelled at him and shit and held, accountability. All the great traits any great coach has. And they lost to the Eagles yesterday, so he's probably out by now. He's probably happy. God, where do these guys get their energy? That guy's going to be, 68? I don't know. I don't know where they get their energy. Holy shit, I better pick up the pace. I got to get out of here. Drive into the city and deal with that shit again. Fuck. What else did I want to talk about here? What else? Let's talk about the Oscar Awards. They're coming up. Headlines. Will this year's Academy Awards see a repeat of What the fuck? It's my wife sending me a picture of a check. I can't look at it right now. Oh boy, that can't be good news. It's either that or a picture of her with a car flipped over on Route 1. I'll check it later on. I'm sure she's fine. Limping around like a fucking pirate with that knee. But she's up and at 'em, I'll tell you. Once the Percocets wore off and shit and she wasn't getting sick from the pills, I mean, years ago, she'd still be in bed with that knee. She's fucking running around. I watched her take out the trash yesterday. No, I didn't. My mother hears that and she'll fucking bitch slap me. Will this year's Academy Awards see a repeat of #Oscars So White backlash? As Motion Picture Academy members cast their ballots for Oscar nominations this week, the biggest issue for many voters isn't about who might be nominated, but about the diversity of this year's acting class. Let me make it easy on you fucking liberal jackoffs. See, these are people in the Academy who actually perpetuate all this political correct horseshit. Let me make it easy on you. Go by merit. Just try it once. I guess that's what they did last year, and almost all the nominees, almost all of them were white. And somehow that was wrong. Once again, in a country that's still almost 70% white. The Academy found itself on the defensive last year when white actors earned all 20 of the nominations in the lead and supporting categories. Yet there's a strong chance this year's acting awards will once again be heavily, perhaps exclusively, God forbid, white, despite the efforts of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences to diversify the organization. No matter how many gays and transgenders and minorities they let into the Academy, it still might be. And you know what that is? Because majority of the actors are white. Well, that means then you're not given enough roles to well, people, we give the roles based on the characters, which are written by all kinds of people. But again, they write them about shit that happens in their lives in a country where they probably is predominantly white. So... Oh, God, help me. Idris Elba, Beasts of No Nation, sits among the forecasted nominees at Gold Derby, a website compiling predictions of 24 Oscar pundits. I guess she would be a minority. Is that why they're talking to her? And she says... If it's all white again, nobody's going to be happy, and there might be a growing perception that the Academy is out of touch. Since when was, again, a predominantly white country, and you're writing stories about, and a lot of the characters are white, how does that make you out of touch? Anything white is considered passé? Is that it? You're not going to shove me in that fucking closet. Oh, you know who this is? This isn't Idris Elba, excuse me. This is a USC history professor, Steve Ross. And I'm sure you're going to get a nice unbiased opinion from a college professor at a university, Southern California. I'm sure he's right down the middle. He hasn't been tainted with his own dog shit. It's like watching a dog eat his own shit. If it's all white again, he says, nobody's going to be happy. There might be a growing perception that the Academy is out of touch, Steve Ross says, author of several books about Hollywood politics. Then we had a few of the Oscar voters speaking on condition of anonymity because of the subject's sensitive nature. Can you imagine? You got to speak in anonymity if you're talking about race. That's how fucked up we are in this country about it. And one of them says, I don't see how you can nominate another group that doesn't include any actor of color and you'll think you'll be taken seriously, one Actors Branch member said. F. Gary Gray, director of the NWA biopic Straight Outta Compton. By the way, he's African-American. He's the only one that has it right, by the way, ironically. He joined the Academy this year. He'll be voting. And he offers a different view than the white, guilty, liberal pussies of the Academy. I'm not going to allow politics to influence my judgment because then that defeats the purpose, said Gray, who is African-American. Just said he's gray. Hey, zinger, zing, 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 zing. That's not how I make movies, and it's not how I'll vote. If something moves me and touches me, it's probably my uncle. No, oh, what? If something moves me and touches me, that's probably the direction I'll go in. That's coming from a black director. He's saying he doesn't see the color and shit. He goes on merit if something moves him. You understand? Why don't you white liberal dickheads listen to him and quit trying to defend his feelings? This year's prominent contenders of color, I guess there are contenders, so what are we talking about here? Include Michael B. Jordan, it's the guy that in Creed, the young fighter, Will Smith in Concussion, and big mouth whitey hater himself, Samuel L. Jackson, the Hateful Eight. I've had enough of him, too, by the way. By the way, he was a big black protester in the 60s, anti-white fucking jerk-off, and he still is, by the way. You can go online and see him sing during the Ferguson riots, him singing about the cops being killers and shit. And there was a piece about this week, him sort of bad-mouthing Trump, and he's, again, and if he was white, he'd be just another actor, in my humble opinion. It's just that Tarantino fell in love with him because Tarantino grew up watching black exploitation films. And anyways, and that doesn't mean I don't like his performances. I love him in Pulp Fiction, and I like what he does. But he's a whitey hater, and Hollywood ought to take that into consideration. If there was a white actor out there that spoke out like he does, and the way he talks about white people, you wouldn't see him again. Oh, that's right. Mel Gibson did that. And you haven't seen him, have you? No, you haven't. In December, for a SAG Awards Ensemble Prize, also in the mix is transgender actress Maya Taylor. Oh, my God. Do you see the confusion and division brought on by the fucking left, who just identity politics, that's where they live. They've perfected it. So last year, the Academy responded to Oscar so white criticism on the internet by inviting 322 new members, its largest class ever. Jesus Christ. That leaves 10 of us on the planet that aren't voting for these movies. The demographically broad group reflected a concerted move toward a normalization of our membership to represent both the industry and the country as a whole. Well, if that's the Academy President Cheryl Boone Isaacs said that in an interview. Well, if that's true, then it's about right because again, 68% white, about 12% black, about I don't know what the Hispanics are, 20%, 18, I don't know. So to me, It seems about right when I go to the movies. Matter of fact, I think, I said this before, definitely minorities overrepresented on TV. If you landed here from a different planet and you watched TV for an hour, you think it was 70-30, black to white. Wouldn't you? Sure you would. I got a pit in my stomach. No, I have to... No, I don't know. Then I have to get on a plane next week and start all over again. I see no end to this fucking life. Why'd that just come into my head? I don't know. Anyways, it's the same old story. So don't get all uppity. But you see what's happening here. You see the mentality? People are going to vote. Academy members who you can't find whiter, more liberal. A lot of them are going to vote because they don't want to be perceived as racist. So they've been bullied into this mentality. Some people aren't going to get Oscars or be nominated this year because they are white, and the Academy doesn't want to look racist. So once again, we lower the standards, and I understand if this was 1955 and you had that mentality, but we're way the fuck past it. And try doing things on merit, but you can't. You can't look at things objectively because it's been drilled into your head. That's about it, kids. Isn't it? I think it is. Come see me again this weekend, will you please? At Levity Live in West Nyack, New York. It's a dangerous situation. And then Chicago next weekend. Oh, my God. Yeah. Where's my book at? Can't believe it. Back to the grind. I've been sitting around really concentrating on this show more than anything for the last couple of weeks. So, Zanies, 14, 15, and 16 in Chicago and Rosemont. Sports Haven, New Haven, Connecticut, January 23rd. The Comedy Shop. The Comedy Shop on January 29th at Saleen's in Wantage, New Jersey, and the 30th at the Regency House Hotel, which is in Pompton Plains. The 29th and the 30th, that is, in Jersey. The Music Hall of Portsmouth, New Hampshire on February 12th. Governor's in Long Island, the 26th and 27th. That's enough for now. Enough of the plugs. Thank you so much again for the contributions. That's all I can think of. Yeah. Until next time, everybody. Why am I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I gotta eat something. My blood sugar is lower than BB King's. Does that make any sense? I know the fucking means. All right, kids. Love you. Talk to you soon, huh?
I won't take all that they hand me down and make out I smile though I wear a frown. And I'm not gonna take it all lying down, 'cause once I get started, I go to town. 'Cause I'm not like everybody else. No. I'm not like everybody else.
Good day, everybody.